All right, we are back in another episode of Pest Control Millionaire. Been traveling the country, getting to see some really cool operations. We're actually out here with John Anderson with Green Home Pest Control. We're out here in Arizona. It's hot as hell.
Yeah, it is.
It's 115 degrees as we speak. Maybe a little bit warmer at this point. But John, welcome to the show. But I'm in your show, so it's kind of cool.
No, good to have you guys. I was a little worried about the heat for you guys. I can tell it's a little bit much, but we stay inside a lot, and we've been outside today a little bit. So
yeah, it's been fun so far.
We look shiny right now, probably. So
yeah, had a little bit of a crazy day getting here yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
But I think I got here at like 7 o'clock, and it's still 116 degrees in our Uber ride.
I'm not from here, but you get used to it. So your blood thins out.
Yeah.
It gets to be normal. So.
But yeah, let's just start the show with, because I don't know your background. I've been saving all the questions.
Yeah. No.
Let's go here.
Yeah.
If you and I are junior and senior in high school, who is John Anderson in high school?
High school? Oh man. Wait, am I the junior or the senior? No, I high school. Grew up in Alberta, Canada.
You still hear the accent?
Yeah, there's a little accent here and there. Kind of a farming community. Went to your typical high school, I think, where I'm from. A lot of kids involved in sports, so a good family area to raise kids. I played some football and track and field, and just a typical farm boy of Alberta, Canada. So definitely learn how to work up there. I think that's one thing I can attribute to that. My dad was definitely a hard worker and instilled that in me for sure at a young age.
Did you grow up on a farm?
Yeah.
Me too.
Well,
cool. You had a horse farm?
Yeah, a basic farm, not full blown, but we had horses, and when I was real young, we had chickens and cows.
Yeah, us too.
Just basic irrigation, so tractors, all that fun stuff.
So was your dad entrepreneur too, mom entrepreneur?
Yeah, actually, my parents, they own kind of an outdoor, like camping, hiking, scuba diving, like adventure type stuff.
Really?
So yeah, I got to do a lot of fun things growing up with them. So yeah, he was a home builder initially, but kind of his passion was more like outdoors type stuff, and so he decided to kind of run with that. And I think that was a big factor in me also wanting to do my own thing, because I kind of saw them have that flexibility for sure, and I liked that probably. So yeah, big deal.
So then transition from high school to college, and I see your certificate or degree up there. But where did you go to? Where'd you go to school? What'd you go to school for?
I went to BYU, did business finance.
Why did you choose that school?
Obviously, background being LDS is a big factor, but
Did you grow up LDS?
Yeah, I grew up LDS. Yes, but from a business standpoint, BYU is a really good business school, so it was hard, and I was excited to get into that, of course. But so did business. I just knew I was never really medically inclined. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I just thought, okay, I'm going to do business. That's my little more my passion. And then out of those, it was like finance, accounting, marketing. Kind of felt like marketing was a lame degree, so I went with finance. And I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do, really. I just knew I wanted to get a degree at least and then figure it out. And so that's what I did, and got into doing all the summer sales while I was there. And
so you got recruited at college, I'm assuming?
Yeah, actually before I went to school, I got recruited like every other return missionary.
Where'd you go? Yeah, good point. Where did you go on a mission to?
Yeah, I went on a mission to Romania. So the capital is Bucharest, but Romania, so Eastern Europe. So kind of a far away country, but cool people. Loved it over there. Just really good, down to earth people.
How long were you there for?
There did the whole 2 years there. And
what was that experience like?
That's crazy. I mean, if you just completely take away the religion part of it, it's quite I think it really makes you grow up real quick. For 2 years, first time for me flying on a plane, being away from my family, and I'm from a small, town in Canada, and so it was a big change, but it helped me grow up real quick. You know what I loved about it though, honestly, is being exposed to a bunch of different companions that you're with, because you're with a bunch of guys, and kind of learning and seeing what their plan is and their pathway, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just was kind of trying to figure it out, and a lot of them had their life planned and figured out a little more than I did, so I felt kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit, and so just wasn't sure, but that helped me kind of hone in more, that I felt like I was going down this business path. And so that
gotcha. So when you go knock doors for 2 years and then you go to college after that?
Yeah, so did the mission for 2 years. Some guys will do it before if they have a little stint, but I just worked saving up some money for that and went on the 2-year mission, came home, and then I got home in like September, and then that first summer of being home, I got recruited quickly and promptly to head out and do some pest control sales. And actually sold here in Phoenix that first summer, yeah.
And you didn't live here, right? You were still living in Canada?
Yeah, still living in Canada. I was going to go to Virginia, and for some reason or another, they kind of wanted to get more guys in Phoenix, and we thought that it would be a little more. We thought there'd be more girls in Phoenix. I think that was part of it too. And so
it ended up kind of working out.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it. But we ended up going to Phoenix, and a bunch of us buddies from Alberta all sold here.
Who did you get recruited by then?
Back then it was Safe. They were called Safeguard and TrueGuard. I think it was TrueGuard with Aaron Allred. I don't know if you know that name or not. He's one of the originals. So like Shandon Cole, Aaron Allred. So it was TrueGuard, and I believe their name got changed to Safeguard. I think Truly Nolan didn't like TrueGuard. It was too similar. Right. So I think it changed like that summer. But
how was your first summer?
It was good. I was definitely a fun summer. Could have worked a little harder. It was definitely a little mix of.
I think we always look back and say that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think we had a lot of fun, but we definitely put in our time. But I could have probably sold double if I would have worked harder for sure. But
it was good though. Like 200.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I think it was just under a couple hundred, just over. So I had nothing.
But for a rookie back then, what year was this?
This is 2004. The rest of the guys that were brand new, I did great. Yeah. And so you kind of compare yourself to everyone, and I felt like I was one of the top guys because I was. Yeah. But you also like hear about numbers around the nation. You're like, holy heck, some guys were killing it too. Yeah. And so then you kind of get competitive.
What was the land of pest control sales back in 2000, early 2000s?
It was a different world than it is today. You would hear numbers like that guys were just killing it back then. I feel like it was back then. I mean, I'm older. I'm 43. Some of these guys have been around for a while. And so back then, a lot of customers had never heard you never would hear someone say, you're the fourth guy that came here today. Like some people would just I feel like sales were a little easier back then. And then over the years, you've had to learn to definitely work harder, smarter, and not just run into sales a little bit. You had to. I'm not saying it was easy back then. You could go to some new construction areas and just roll out of there with 10 sales in a couple.
What was harder, knocking for religion or knocking for pest control?
I don't know. I'd say, I think probably pest control. Honestly, I think with religion's tough. You don't have to close the deal, and I think you have a little more. I mean, well, I'm probably comparing pest control or just my whole door-to-door experience. You got to really believe in what you're selling.
Yeah, no matter what, though.
I believe in pest control. I did more home security than pest control, and there's a reason I got back into pest control is I believe in the product, and I at some point in sales, I think you really have to believe in what you sell.
Oh, with anything that you sell, whether it's your religion, whether whichever product you're trying to sell, if you don't believe in it.
True. Can only go so far there. With home security, I'm not saying I didn't love home security. I did like it, but I don't feel like I would use a home security system as much as I would actually use pest control. And so I kind of had a little more conviction in the pest control sale, and so I probably felt more believable in that. And the fact that you're giving someone a home security system they might not ever use because it comes down to them actually turning it on and using it, where pest control that does that for them. So I just felt better selling pest control from just that standpoint.
So year one, you go sell 200 some accounts, and then you decided year two that you didn't want to sell pest control anymore, and you go do alarms.
No, I got switched over to home security with back then it was Apex, which is switched to Vivint or whatever they changed. Yeah, Vivint. And so I did Apex there for probably, and home security as a whole. I think my last year I did with Platinum, which is kind of a spinoff of them. I think I did 5-6 years of home security, and then back into pest control in ownership after that.
Gotcha. So that's cool. So you knocked doors for five more years. So all in your. I mean, at this point, you're almost 10 years in knocking doors.
Yeah.
In your mission, a couple of years doing pest and then alarms, and then you decided, after your 5th year doing alarms, that you want to go back and start a pest control company? Or
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened
So
there?
home security, I loved it. I did good there. I mean, again, I was one of the top reps and always would do well. And I kind of saw like a little more like, okay, there's a future here. There's some possibility here. At that point, I had graduated already in business finance, and I was getting some job offers in finance, and just didn't even feel like they'd come close to scratching the surface on what I was making. I was managing teams at that point, and so you're making some good overrides and your own commissions. And so it gets to the point where you kind of start like really opening your eyes on maybe there's some potential here to do this full time, or at least make some good money here for a few years before you move on to like a real job, as we'd call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't love, I looked into home security, doing my own thing. I didn't love how you would kind of just sell that account right away to like ADT or Monotronics and just kind of sell it off. There was no real ownership.
Right.
And so I liked the pest control side, how you actually are holding your accounts and building some recurring revenue. And then same thing, I just felt like pest control would be a little bit, A, easier to figure out from a business standpoint. And then B, I just felt like it was I just liked the sale better. It seemed like it would be easier to recruit kids, because home security, it's a tougher sale. Not everyone makes it, if you will, through a summer. Pest control would be hard to like not make it through a summer. Like you gotta be like pretty rough at sales to not sell a summer, in my opinion. So that there are a lot of factors. But then I got with a business partner, and him and I had kind of the same spot in life. We felt like we just needed to go do something else. Didn't want to keep selling for someone else. And so him and I chose San Diego and went and started a company out there called Home Guard Pest Control. And so I think that was in 2010. And we ran that for a couple of years till 2012. And then, we just didn't feel like San Diego was home for us. My wife at the time was from here. And so we were going to sell that out there, and he was going to go somewhere else as well. But last minute, he decided to buy me out. So he's still there today.
Gotcha.
Still killing it, doing a good job. And so he's out there, and he bought me out, and I started over here in 2012. So cool. Yeah, and so did Green Home here 2012 until now. So.
Are you sick of paying marketing agencies and not getting results? Well, we are hosting the #1 step-by-step class on how to attract and generate sales without paying a marketing agency or having a huge budget. Most lawn care and pest control owners get stuck at a ceiling because they're dealing with outdated systems or relying on guesswork waiting for the phones to ring. Our upcoming class this Thursday provides proven strategies to generate hundreds of leads without a huge budget. We'll show you how to build a predictable system to grow past $1 million. We show you how to automate your marketing. We'll also teach you how to delegate and build your team so you have more time. So click the link in the description below. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. This is the one thing that I wish I had learned a lot sooner. Now, let's get back to the show.
What made you, I can know the answer to this, but what made you choose the name Green Home? And this is your second business you started, so was it faster than the first one? And then how did you get it started?
Yeah, I learned a lot in those first couple of years, but we were strictly door-to-door sales teams out there, 100%.
In San Diego?
Yeah,
okay.
We didn't do very much typical like online marketing or traditional organic type growth. And I kind of wanted to get a little bit more into that. At that point, I think I was getting a little bit burnt out on the recruiting game and door-to-door sales myself, and was, had a kid and was looking to have a little more balance in my life. And so I went really heavy into more traditional online growth and just your online marketing and sales and all that. And I knew I probably wouldn't grow as fast that way, but I kind of felt like I'd already seen a little bit of the attrition in some of that on the door-to-door side, and wanted to maybe see what I could do in that space. And so I went, my first summer here in Arizona, I had a small door-to-door team, not big.
Were you knocking too?
I was too, yeah. And then that was it. I just pulled the plug. I had no real plan after that first summer, other than I just figured I'd figure it out. Yeah. So, and you kind of have to if you don't have any sales guys coming back. And so
this is 2010.
Yeah. And
cool.
So after that first summer, I just went all in on our website and just went heavy on the SEO.
What was the competition like out here in 2010? It's like it is now?
Yes and no. I'd say there's a lot of companies back then, and there was definitely more of your door-to-door companies were the ones you'd probably run into and compete with. There's lots of local mom and pops.
I think I told you on the way here, there's there's 1,000.
Yeah, there's a lot. Phoenix, Arizona is one of the most competitive markets by far, which I think I used to worry about competition a lot. I don't stress about it as much anymore. There's plenty to go around. It's a huge market. It's growing. And at some point, there's tons of bugs, like heavy bug pressure here. And so you can't live in fear of that, in my opinion. Do I think some markets could be better or different? Yes, but at the same time, you gotta do what where you're at. So I feel like right now there's definitely more competition because I do feel like it's gotten worse over time. I feel like, and there's more guys that are willing. There's more savvy guys that are splitting off and know how to grow. The pest control market used to be just a guy in his truck, I feel like, or maybe some of these bigger regional players. But I think there's a lot of guys that are smart and are seeing maybe the value of what the industry can do and maybe what kind of lifestyle you can live through it. And so I feel like it's gotten more competitive, honestly, over the years. Some big companies selling is nice though, because then those get out of the way. But it's always
which was just a pretty big one.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's always going to be competitive though. Again, as long as you stay with your core things that make you who you are and stand out, I think you can do good in any market.
The mentality behind it though, because you're used to growing super fast in the doors.
Yeah.
And then shutting that off and growing at a slower rate. How was that?
It's been tough, I think, a little bit. At the beginning, honestly, I was just I will say this. We grew with a door-to-door sales team in San Diego, and I was definitely hell-bent on making sure I didn't just have just a slow trickle growth either. So we did have some door-to-door team help a little bit at the beginning. And that first summer, I think we probably did around the same number of accounts in San Diego. I don't even remember how many, but just I would look back at my numbers and my books and kind of compare. I was competing with myself, if you will, kind of. Yeah. And then I do remember that second year, though, we went all online pretty heavy and I did different things like Yelp and Angie's List. I was trying all of it. And I was willing to just throw a lot at the wall and see what stuck, and whatever did, I wrote it. But I do feel like, I did beat our numbers so after 2 years here compared to 2 years there, I did do better, barely, but did do better. And so that was kind of my goal to get a
different client too.
Yeah, just a different client. We're a little more spread out and we're all over the place. I think door to door, you can have some really tight routes and they might be more heavy in the new growth. And we cover, we cover all of it. So I do feel like our attrition has been lower. It's been a little bit steadier clientele. I do like that stability that it brings, but it is a slower growth too. I mean, I could be a little more aggressive at times. I've gotten a little bit, not distracted might be a good word. I have 5 kids. I'm busy. Yeah. My personal life is I really value my time with my kids and my balance with work. And so I feel like at different points in my life, just based on what we have going on at home, I've tried to make sure I'm always there for my kids and around for them. And so my business could be probably twice the size, but I probably would miss out on my kids growing up too. Yeah. And that's not something I'm willing to do either. So I guess you have to have that trade-off for sure. So yeah,
and it's never easy trying to balance work and then life and then try to make everyone happy. And it's not realistic.
No, it's not. It's a challenge no matter what. So yeah.
What's been the worst day since you've opened the doors? Anything that stands out?
I think
I like how you get fidgety there.
Yeah, I like to give you the right answer because there's some rough days.
For sure.
I'll tell you what, things that my first time a technician got in an accident, a decent accident, I think I was a mess the first day, and it stressed you out, and but now if I got a call or a text that's saying so-and-so got in an accident, it's almost like, oh, cool, is he okay? As long as he's okay, I'm good, and you don't stress about it as much, which I think you just get a little more thicker skin on some of those things. So I would say my first tech, I think he got rear-ended pretty bad, and I was kind of stressed about him because I think he got hurt. So that would probably be that, or I'd say we also had a customer's dog that got really sick. I'd say those two are the ones that stand out where you're like, oh crap, what's going to happen here? Or what did we do wrong? Or was it our fault or not? And you're just kind of waiting for the phone call or the answer because you can't get out there right away. So
have you been through any lawsuits yet?
No, we knock on wood, we're good there. Yeah. So we run a good company, hire good people, and try to always have good systems in place. But luckily, we no lawsuits. So
yeah, we've toured the shop. We've met some technicians, watched the service. It's been fun already.
Meet some good guys. Yeah, you've met some good guys for sure.
Yeah, like everyone's super nice,
Yeah.
knowledgeable, just good dudes. You can tell already. I got to meet everyone yet.
Totally, yeah.
But we got to take a break because it's hot out there.
No, it is. I'm pretty big on making sure we hire the right person. You can definitely hire the wrong people, and I've learned that. But I think there's a saying. What is it? Hire slow, fire fast, something like that. So definitely take the time, get the right person if you can. But it's a bit of a gamble. You don't know who you're getting sometimes. So
going back to college, are you glad that you did that route? Did you learn anything that you could take into business today?
Yeah, I mean, my kids ask me all the time because my oldest is getting older. He's like, did you actually learn anything in college, Dad? And I'm like, not really. And so I joke with him about it. Like, did I? Yes, but I also wasn't going down the road of trying. Like, I kind of knew I was going to do something else the whole time I was in college, where I had buddies that were like in finance and they're doing like an intern on Wall Street every summer, and they're really like taking it seriously. And I don't want to say I didn't take it seriously. Like, I knew I wanted to get a degree just for the sake of having that as a fallback, just whatever. I don't know, just because. Did I learn some stuff? Yes, I think I learned more, like maybe just added to my work ethic, or learned, interpersonal skills. Probably I made a lot of good connections there. I think that's a big part of college. Do I think college is for everyone? No. Would I do it again myself? Yes, I would, personally. I think it was good for me. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, so it bought me some time to figure that out and kind of put me in, different positions and different jobs that helped me see, I guess, the world through different lenses, and I kind of figured out what I wanted to do through that time. So that was good for me, for sure. And would I recommend my kids to all go if they want to? Yeah, but I do think that you can do it in the trades and make good money
for sure
without it too.
Trades are big.
It's just not for everyone. So.
Yeah, we don't really talk about this on the podcast much, so I'll bring it up. You transitioned from doing all power sprayers to backpack sprayers.
Yeah.
What was the switch, and what have the results been like? How did the customers take it at first? Like, walk us through that.
Yeah. So
we don't talk about this on the podcast ever, actually.
Yeah, we had all power sprayers on all of our trucks, and I got to the point where in California, we would use the Birchmeyers here and there, especially for like a non-repellent type treatment where you're not supposed to power spray anyway. And so I never loved the Birchmeyers. They were kind of expensive. They broke down a lot, so I hated them. And I was never a fan of moving to like a Birchmeyer option because I just didn't feel like it also, here in Arizona, like there's a lot of scorpions, a lot of pest pressure. And it's not just what you spray, but it's like how deep down in the cracks and crevices and the rocks you get it too. So power spraying does actually matter here. It's not just a sales point. And so when the flow zones came out is when I got a little bit excited about maybe considering another option, because I felt like the Birchmeyers and weren't my thing. And so when those flow zone brands came out, I think I was one of the first for sure to jump on that here in the Valley. We used them pretty quick and pretty exclusively. And I had a good relationship with Hanny, which is one of the guys over there, one of the top. I don't know if he owns the company or what, but he's one of the first. He would do anything for me because he wanted me to use them. And so we had some issues at first, and he would work with me well. And so I liked him for a few reasons. One, it just was from a price point, it saves you $2,000-3,000 on a power sprayer.
Yeah.
And so if you're trying to grow fast and build a truck up, and you don't got to have that bottleneck holding you up. I also feel like the battery powered option was huge because the PSI that it sprayed with was almost identical to a power sprayer. Really, it was the same PSI as what like an electric pump was on our power sprayers and our rigs. So I was willing to give them a go. My technicians weren't as eager. I had to definitely get some buy-in there. I had some older techs that were old dogs, new tricks, didn't really love change. But I think once they tried them out and saw them, they were a little more sold on it because they liked that it, wasn't dragging a hose around someone's property, which
catch it on that.
Yeah, you can catch those on you can snag a hose, which was a big stress.
It is.
Have a bunch of chemical
Yeah,
everywhere.
for real.
And here in Arizona, there's a lot of sharp corners. And so that was one. I think once they saw how easy it was, and
you're reeling that thing in every single time.
reel that thing in, a manual reel. I ended up putting electric reels on a lot of my trucks because I just felt bad for the guys in the heat in the summertime doing that. And so yeah, I loved them. I was pretty eager to jump at it pretty quick. There's companies still that are power spraying out there here in Arizona. And I don't even know why, personally, with all the options. There's so many options now, and the PSI on those are great. I like that you can mix it fresh at every home. And I think for, scorpions and things that need like really good mixing here in Arizona, and those rates matter, and having a good clean mix at the house can make a difference than having a tank that's just sitting there overnight. And if you don't agitate it properly, it can be a problem.
Yeah. How about like the perception of pulling in?
Yeah.
I mean, with the bands, it really doesn't really matter because you don't really see the rig.
Yeah. We
talked about this earlier.
Yeah. We had a lot of vans, and I don't think the customers, I was a little bit more worried about the customers and their perception and what they would say about it than I probably needed to be. It wasn't a big deal. Customers, we do a good service with the customers trust us. We have good reviews and have good techs, and they kind of just trust us to do the job right. We had a few, we had to explain to them what it was and why. And once they saw it, they were fine. The results speak for themselves. We haven't ever had like any issues as far as actual results, in my opinion. I honestly, I think whether you use a power spray or a backpack is just personal preference to some extent, and it's how you present it to the customer. Sure. And I could go right back to power sprayers tomorrow, and I could like sell against backpacks all day long and use it to my advantage if I wanted to.
I figured you switched because your company's name is Green.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta get away from that.
So I will say though, because the company's Green Home Pest Control, we do have a clientele that does call us, and they will ask about safer products, or they want to go like 100% botanical. And yeah, that was a pain point. When you got a power sprayer, you already have to carry like a separate backpack with you anyway, or a B&G to mix those separately anyway. And so I kind of feel like you're already doing some of those things because you can't cross mix a lot of those things. And so, I mean, I kind of felt like we were already going down that road. So that was part of the decision for sure. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, smart. I also know that you like to read. You got some books that you can recommend for the listeners off the top of your head?
Yeah, off the top of I do like to read. I love good old biographies. I like a good, like one of my favorites is Shoe Dog.
I love Shoe Dog. Phil Knight story.
Yeah.
God, it's good.
To hear some of those.
It's a long book.
I think
it took me like 16 hour. It was like a 16-hour audiobook.
But like if I get into that and get sucked in, I'm cool to keep reading those. I love like the Sam Walton story. I like some of those. Yeah. So just to hear some of those early grinding days for them is cool. I like those. As far as I've been busy lately and haven't read a ton lately, but I do like to pick up a book here and there and read. I'm currently reading the Tommy Mello one right now. It's got a quick read. It's nothing crazy, but I'm reading his. I like that one right now. I'm halfway through that. One of probably my favorite ones, also not a hard read, and I would say if you're in the service business and you haven't read like not just the E-Myth, but the E-Myth that it was like HVAC revisited. Like
there's a landscape one too.
Yeah, there's a landscape one, and the owner of Gettle HVAC kind of did like a spin on it, and that helps you relate a little bit better to the service business. I like that one a lot. It helped me realize real quick that as the owner of the business, and as the only owner here, I have no business partner, it's me. But I probably was I was definitely hurting my business by staying at the bottleneck. Everything had to go through me, and it's your baby, you start it, and you kind of have a hard time letting go of certain things. And so I learned real quick by reading that book that I need to get out of my way and delegate a lot more and take time to focus on the bigger picture, not just putting out fires all day long and wasting time. So
that's cool. I'll switch to this because not every listener knows how to. I mean, we just don't deal with the heat. How do you handle this heat with the technicians?
It's hot. Like as you imagine, we're out there for one house and we're dying. These poor guys are out there in this. I address it early and often in the interview process. Let them know like, hey, this is what your day is going to look like. Are you cool going out to like 14 homes in 110 degree weather? Like that can wear you out. So I make sure they know what they're getting into.
They're all wearing like long sleeve everything.
Yeah. A lot of the products you use have to have long pants and long sleeves. I think they just need to know what they're getting into. It's not for everyone. A lot of guys that are from here they're kind of like, okay, this is fine. It's Arizona. It's a dry heat. I can deal with it. It is like, I don't know if I could be on a roof all day long in this heat, but they do get in and out of their vehicle. We're like 95% residential, so they're not out of stock for very long. Quick stops, AC. Get that AC rolling. So we We do some good incentives in the summertime too. Keep them happy. Take them some baseball games. Give them some fun stuff to do to break up the monotony of it for sure. But it is a long summer. Yeah. The winters are beautiful here though. I mean, and they always say it makes up for the summer because winters are kind of great. And so, I'd say most of our guys just know it. They wear hats, do some stuff to cool down their neck maybe, and we give them all like we take care of them, throw some incentives at them, let them, hey, go buy lunch on the company, different things like that in the summertime to make sure they're taken care of. So
yeah, another thing that's super common out here, which is not so common by us, and I tell my guys the same thing about the water. Like we have 100-gallon, 150-gallon tanks. Yeah. You guys get the water from your customers. Yeah, that's a big difference from here to there too.
Yeah, I think when you're mixing it, like I said, a small 2 or 4 gallon backpack, customers are pretty cool with that, especially if you let them know. We have a few vehicles that have water on them, but very few to have to. We always, for safety reasons, you carry some, but otherwise we mix it fresh at the house.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And then when it comes, because you mentioned winter, do you guys typically slow down in the winter like we do, or what's that look like?
We slow down in the sense that we aren't growing as much. It is Arizona. We don't get snow here.
People still think it's winter when it's 80 degrees.
Yeah, it can be like 75 degrees is the high, but it gets down to like 35 at night, 40 at night. So it's still chilly, but so the pest control pressure does slow down. It's not. We're growing less in the wintertime, but we still grow. We don't go backwards by any means, but it does slow down. A little more time to get your systems dialed in and get ready for the next summer. Summer is still our big season, and the winters, aren't your kind of winters where we don't get snow. But I do feel like it does still slow down. You're not putting on the numbers you put in July as you are in January.
But you said even in the fall, termite picks up, rodents pick up.
I'd say termites are a little bit different here because of just the rain and the monsoon season we get. So a lot of people I feel like get termites more in the spring they start, or if it's drywoods they start swarming. We mostly are primarily subterranean, and those we get a lot of rain storms with the heat in July, August, September that are called monsoons. And that loosens up the ground and allows those termites to come from underground up to the homes. And so our termite season is really heavy in September, October, November. And as the heat cools down, so it kind of is a good follow up to a strong summer to have termite season take off too.
So. And then as it's cooling down, all the rodents are still looking for a warm place to go, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of roof rats in here in Arizona, and so again, those cool evenings that drives them into the homes. So you get a lot of roof rats that are looking for a nice warm place to live at night. So
it was the first time I ever encountered a roof rat. I was actually selling in Florida.
Oh, okay.
And I walked up to this house, and it was a 30-day follow-up. And I was walking, there was the recessed door between two walls. Okay. And I started walking up to it, and there was the rat was right at the side of the door.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And so I was like, holy crap. I was like, I've never seen that before. And it scurries down, it runs along the wall, and I'm standing at the edge of the wall. And as soon as at the edge of the wall is the garage, I feel like it's just going to turn the corner and run the other way. Yeah. It doesn't. I'm standing at the backpack sprayer. The homeowner walks up at that time. And at first, she was kind of like, why are you guys here? You guys were just here, 30 days ago. Why are you guys already here? To explain to her why we were there, and she saw this all unfold. This roof rat runs running along the side of the garage. Runs straight at me. I'm just dead serious.
No, thank you.
And I have my backpack sprayer, and it jumps at the backpack sprayer. Oh. I probably shouldn't have said this on live podcast, but I didn't know what to do. I pulled the trigger.
It sprayed it?
It started spraying it. I sprayed it. Geez, and it ran away. It bit the end of the...
Got him in the eyes.
Yeah, it was a crazy story. So that's the first time I ran into a roof rat. But that same story, I literally used on the next 30 doors, 50 doors.
Oh, I'm sure it helps.
And I think within that first 4 hours, I think I sold 8 accounts. Huh. It was wild. It was a Saturday morning. It's pretty crazy. No, that was the first time I ran into a roof rat.
They're a little more, I'd say a little more active, a little more, more lively than a Norway rat. But we don't deal with a lot of the Norway rats here. It's mostly roof rats. So cool. And they're busy in the winter. It's not like winters where you're from, but it's cold enough that they're looking for a warm place to set up shop. We get them in the attics all the time. So.
Yeah, wow. What does the next 5 years look like for a green home? What's the vision? And then what do the next 5 years look like for John Anderson?
I'm excited the next 5 years. Honestly, I've
Reinvigorated?
Yeah, a little bit reinvigorated. Had a lot going on in the personal life, and I feel like I've gotten that sorted out to the point that I can dive back in here and get after it. It's been the COVID years were great. We were growing like crazy, and it's been a little bit. I'll be honest, it's been a slower couple of years for us just because some personal stuff. Kids, got 5 kids, and I'm busy. And I feel like I've taken a little bit of my foot off the gas. And also, marketing is changing a lot.
For sure.
And I kind of have to, you can't just, what worked 5 years ago doesn't always work today. And so you have to always be kind of reinventing yourself and figure things out. And I'm excited to do that. That's my passion. I didn't get into pest control because I have like some affinity for the pest control side. It's just the marketing, the sales, and the finance side is fun. So I love that stuff. So I go to work every day happy and look forward to the new challenge. And so next 5 years I'm excited to dive in and go really heavy and get after it for sure. So
cool. Well, you're a stud. I know that people that live here that own companies, they look up to you.
Oh, that's good. It's good to hear.
You reach out and they crush it. The season that I was here. Yeah. It's cool to see that, like you're a good dude. So it's fun to be here. But what about personally? What are you thinking?
No, on personal side, again, I'm just, I'm a big believer in some balance in my life. I have 5 beautiful kids. Yeah. Happy to be involved in their lives. They're all pretty active in sports, which is fun. I live for that stuff on the weekends and watching their games. And so, happy to see them grow in every little phase they're in. My oldest is 16, my youngest is 8, and turning 8 here pretty quick. And so I'm busy, but we have a good time. We enjoy the lake, and in winters we go skiing and dirt biking, and we have a fun time. So personally, we'll just keep enjoying those kids, soaking things up. So
pretty soon half of them will be gone in 5 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I'm realizing my 16-year-old. I feel like he was 8 years old yesterday, and he's already like couple of years left of high school. So they grow up quick. Yeah.
Awesome.
All
right, man. I appreciate it.
No, good to have you. This is my first time meeting you, and we've talked a little bit, so it's been fun.
Cool. Pleasure.
All right.
See you later.
Nice.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Pest Control Millionaire. We don't charge any money for the show, but the podcast isn't free. Please like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review in your favorite podcast app. This makes a huge difference for us. If you have any specific questions about your business or your personal life that you'd like answered by me or any of my podcast guests, please send an email to info@pestcontrolmillionaire.com. And if you want to get in touch with me about our marketing class, we do a live version every Thursday night. Check out our website at pestcontrolmillionaires.com. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one.